All right, so a while back, sometimes I like to do follow-ups for the Deadly Assault. This one isn't going to be super optimized. It's not like, oh, because I remember I used to do like when I first fought the Defiler, I had like an optimized run afterwards, but the team is a little different. This is just kind of a follow-up to show you guys. We made it into top 10%, and this is the teams I ended up landing on. So I'm probably gonna do one run of each one and then just kind of showcase it. I don't know if I'll be able to beat the score. This boss in particular, I'm probably going to talk a little bit more through it. Maybe not through it because it's hard to talk and like do what I'm supposed to be doing. But I guess I'll mention a few things ahead of time. Yeah, the main problem with this boss is just trying to get the control phases down. But it's not even that hard. Like there'll be a big pop up on the screen that tells you when to get ready. So just stop attacking it. Your level of skill comes from like how well you can ignore that. And we'll again, I'll talk about it when I talk about the team, what I ended up going with. Here, the only reason I'm going with Yuzuha here is because, first of all, Yuzuha gives out 1200 attack, which she's got other buffs, but 1200 attack combined with her off field aftershocks, her support set, which is the Moonlight Lullaby, the Weeping Gemini, no, Weeping Cradle is what she has. Weeping Cradle with her built-in bonuses, because her second ability doesn't work, her additional ability, but she still gives up the 1200 attack. Plus, she also has a built-in 15% damage buff. Anyway, the point being is I'm explaining all this to let you know that all those buffs combined make Yuzuha better for the Sambi team than running Nicole, which is usually who I run. Again, the main thing is to be cheaper, so I run Nicole so that Yuzuha can be used on her other teams, but there's no other team where Yuzuha is good on, so Yuzuha kind of excels in this team. Just real quick, we'll look at some builds here. The reason Yuzuha, I mentioned this in a previous video, is like I kind of accidentally got a second copy of Yuzuha. I just went into the banner and what I'm doing now is like going forward. So like Yuzuha comes out here. Orphe, she's coming. Her banner's coming. I'm gonna drop a 10 pull on Orphe, then move on. If I get her, cool. If not, then I'm not gonna go to pity. So that way, because again, with Yuzuha, I dropped 10 on her, got her, awesome. If I didn't get her, I move on, right? So we got a second copy of her, and this does help her because first of all, in Deadly Assault, she doesn't start off with enough energy to EX special, but because of this, it does. So her buffs, her 1200 attack buff, starts off right away. Secondly, not all of this works. Like these two don't work because it affects her additional ability, but the 15 res reduction by 10% is pretty good. So these are the things that kind of help out. Like I said, she also has this weapon. Again, her thing is she does aftershocks here somewhere. I have to go look for this and see exactly where. It's not super relevant. It'll be here somewhere if you want to look for it on. If you have her, if you want to look for it on there. Um, I can't. Yeah, aftershock here. So again, that's boosted by Sambi's additional buffs. Sambi gives out a 50% aftershock damage buff. Again, she does a little damage with that. Whatever. But this is Sambi, her setup. Trigger setup is the same as it's always been. Trigger's crit chance is designed specifically for Nicole because Nicole gives out 15%. So that's that. And then again, my trigger specifically is M1 because this is probably the most important one on her kit. Otherwise, what else? Is that it? Yeah, I think that's mostly everything. So that's kind of that. There's not a whole lot more to explain with the Sambi team. It's just explaining why Yuzuha's there because it gets me more score. The Wandering Hunter, again, I could use Minato on here, but Minato's not like built well enough, and he's still just a 4-star. Minato suffers from not having Lucia. Maybe eventually at some point, when Lucia comes, I'm actually gonna pull fully on Lucia because I want to have Panda replaced on this team because nobody buffs Yishuan as much as Panda right now, and I just don't really want him on my account. Not that he's bad, it's just I really don't like him. He's not a very enjoyable unit to play. But yeah, this is the team I ended up going with here. This is kind of generic, just Rupture. The problem is, it's like I could use Soldier 11, who my Soldier 11 outperforms Manato in most cases, but she doesn't outperform him here because this defense buff is insane. It's harder for her to get through it. So Minato outperforms her here just because he ignores all the defense, including this buff. But for her, she has to get over the unit's defense plus this. So again, just having Yishuan power through it ends up being what I end up using anyway. And then here, this team is the main one. I kept trying to do this, and when you guys saw the video of me doing Vesper with Jane Doe, I did it. I didn't hit the 20. The highest I got was like 19. I probably could have grinded out a little bit more to hit the 20, but the fact that I can hit 32 with this team just goes to show you how strong Yishuan is, or Yisheng Wang is. Yeah, so that's kind of really, there's not much else to it. Even with the fact that our crit damage is reduced by 40, we're still just like dumpstering what Jane Doe and her team can do. Mainly it's because Jane Doe is dragging the team down, but I mean, it is what it is, right? There's not much we can do about it. Now, I will say, now that I got the M1 for Yuzuha, because again, that video you guys saw was before I got the M1. Now that I have the M1 for Yuzuha, I'm sure Jane Doe can hit the 20,000 easily. And I might showcase that, but it's not really worth showcasing. Basically, the gameplay style stays the same. You just need to do, now Yuzuha just gives me a higher anomaly proficiency bonus, more damage and all that kind of stuff. So, whatever. It's just a numbers thing. But again, this team is a little more complicated in terms of using it because this boss is incredibly inconsistent. The first phase is pretty easy. This isn't necessarily to teach people how to play this boss. There's a lot of videos out there to teach you. Again, this is mainly a follow-up. But one of the things I want to say is like this boss is really inconsistent because this first phase and some of the control phases can be overpowered in the sense that like I'm sure there's ways to skip phases, and I've seen some videos, and as I'm playing this and practicing against her, I have made her skip phases. I just don't know what causes that. It's probably just heavy attacks. Not heavy attacks. Like heavy attacks from ults, because that seems to be the main thing that like disrupts her. But again, it's not consistent, and it's kind of 50-50. The boss itself is different, because the first phase here, let's see if she does it. So block. Let's see if I can. Okay, see, this is what I mean. Okay, so right here. Oh, I messed up. I'm trying to explain. Right here during this first phase, she sent out the control skill pretty early. Other times she'll go for like another 10 to 15 seconds without hitting the control phase. Again, if you can make her skip it, that's probably better. But I'd like her to do it sooner rather than later to get it out of the way. But yeah, that's just kind of how that goes. So let's see if we can do this again. And then that happens. The fact that Zhao's defense assist triggers the quick assist makes you miss the parry. Now, the way to not miss it is double pressing the thing. So if you have Zhao and she parries, if she doesn't throw out the yellow flash fast enough, if she takes too long to throw out the next yellow flash, it'll force the quick assist into Sunna. But you can do both at the same time. So once the quick assist to Sunna comes out, if you press block again, it'll give you the parry you're looking for. It's hard to time it, but oh, I messed up. And then once that quick assist or whatever, once that phase is done, you can just kind of wail on it for a while. You're missing some blocks, but whatever. It's not that big a deal. And then we missed that ult because she does this a lot. This is the one thing that infuriates me about this boss more than anything else. She just has these phases where she moves out of the way. She just doesn't care. Like, she just kind of goes, oh, whatever. I'm just going to move. So you miss a lot of ults. Especially, watch, we'll see later in the phase where she just kind of floats in the air. Where she floats in the air and starts doing a bunch of attacks. That's not conducive to very good gameplay, I'm telling you. I hate when this happens. And I'm wasting a lot of time here because, like, the boss just isn't acting the way it normally does. But, again, this boss is just really inconsistent. At least to me it is. Maybe other people who are better at this game are, like, not having such an issue. But it's not that I'm having an issue. It's more just like, again, it's kind of awkward. I kind of like being able to throw out the, you can force the ult out here, even though it doesn't let you. And again, you just have to time these right. I'm kind of used to having to deal with them because I play a lot of Hollow Zero on max difficulty settings or whatever. Which, the thing with that is, like, you can't, like, they don't throw yellow flashes or red flashes in that mode. So it's just really, like, you know, you just gotta get used to it. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, she just kind of wastes your time. I don't like bosses like that. They're really irritating. We wasted one dot or whatever, one stack, and then this is another phase where she just does this. And this, not to mention, these blocks are incredibly inconsistent. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I can't seem to, like, time them, like, to get all of them perfectly. Something about it just feels off. There's just a lot of phases where you waste your time here. We're gonna pop 2 ults at once. We wasted that entire phase, but whatever. So we're within 2 to 3,000 from our thing. If I played a little better, you could see. But we got all our blocks in, which is the most important thing. Is just get the free 5,000, and you don't really have to do that many blocks. I think it's like 4, and you get all of them, 4 or 5, and you get 4 or 5 within the course of it. So if you're using Yixing Wang, you kind of have to, like, there's phases where you just want to ignore what she's doing and just prioritize hitting her. But there's just certain times where you can't do anything about it because she's, like, flying around and you just have to block her. It's a lot easier, like, if you're using a different unit. Let's go see. What's her name? Zhu Yuan is the only other, like, because I've tried this with Yixuan, and she doesn't do super well. So I don't imagine Zhu Yuan is much better. Maybe if you have, like Alice with basically anybody, well, other than Fire and Ice, but like Alice with what's her name, with Vivian is probably good because Vivian's ether is really heavy, as well as, like, Alice's damage is pretty good. But yeah, that's kind of like, there's not a whole lot more to it than that. And then this one is just the same thing you guys have seen for a while. So again, there's not a whole lot I can add to, like, the conversation for the Vesper. She is really irritating, but in terms of all the bosses, like, if one boss is kind of irritating, that's fine. I just don't really like bosses that kind of have phases where they stand around doing nothing. Actually, gotta start over. I forgot that again, I see, this is what I was talking about. I forget that Yuzuha now has max energy, so I can start off with Yuzuha instead of having to start off with Sambi while I build up her energy.
The faithless are a blight upon this world. Adjusting to wind.
This is another boss that I don't really like too much. Like, I don't mind her because I'm pretty good at it, but, like, she just throws off your whole rotation, and you're forced to, like, I don't like being forced to do like, specific things. So here you're forced to, like, parry her. And that's not how parry should work. They should be more like, oh, this is advantageous here, but now I'm forced to parry because, you know, the boss mechanic just dictated. You want to ult here because her ult does the most damage in her kit, but it also gives you energy. So you can do this, one more. I wasted that, but I have to dump it out before she leaves. So when like I had energy, you want to dump all your energy before the miasma phase starts, because once the miasma phase ends, you're just gonna get all your energy back for free, right? So don't worry about wasting it. Again, and I've said this before. A lot of other people have said it, but I don't actually know if it's advantageous to chain cancel with her. But I may as well, right? Like, I'm not gonna hurt anything. And I messed up. I should have gone. I have a bad habit of EX specialing instead of ulting during stun phase. Fortunately, the ult cancels you out of this, which is good.
Obsidian Division, assemble!
I don't think we're gonna hit the. I stopped attacking now. I don't think we're gonna hit the same as I had before. I ulted wrong, so earlier my ult didn't get all the damage I should have. We're just gonna burn her ult. Just may as well. We gotta burn everything. A little more. If I had a little more time, that would have been another triple star mark, and we probably would have hit 40k and maybe closer to 41 that we ended up getting. But like I said, so she's not that complicated. You just get used to her, which is again, it's the same thing that's gonna happen with Vesper. We're just gonna get used to her over time. It's just that for now she's a little bit troublesome, just because we're not used to it. But yeah, just out of all the bosses, I kind of say that a lot. Like when this one came out, I started not liking this boss because of her blocking thing. Like you don't get all your buffs. Where is it here? Here. So every time you block, adjudication, blah blah blah. Whenever you get a defensive assist, the whole squad gets one adjudication. For each stack, you get crit damage, physical damage, and electric damage, whatever, right? Yeah. And then obviously your performance points are tied to your impaired assist, which to get the impaired state, you have to block. There's times it's hard, it's kind of rare, but it like throws off your whole run when she only hits you 4 times, right? And then it's like, okay, she stops throwing yellow flashes. So what am I supposed to do? I just lost 2 stacks of this for the next like 30 seconds, right? So for the next 20 seconds, I'm low on buffs because the enemy decided not to do what she's supposed to do, right? So either she's hitting you and causing yellow flashes, in which case you're losing DPS because you're not like delivering damage, or she's not hitting you and then you'll get to full stacks. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. I don't find the boss very fun to fight against. This one's kind of similar, where it's I get to dodge a lot and do all kinds of other stuff. This is the other thing. The reason why you want to take Monado, like Monado outperform, like in general, like I said, all things held equal, Soldier 11 for me tends to outperform Monado, but on this one, it's particularly, not only is Soldier 11 trying to get over this 40% defense buff, she also doesn't get any help from the boss, which increases sheer damage. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. This is the thing here. I can't show you guys. I have to go actually leave real quick and change something. If you guys want to see the builds, here they are. We're gonna swap this for this, so it gives us more days potential. I tried running him on the defense set on the on this set, but it's not worth it, just because the fact that this has attack on the 2-piece makes it so you reach his passive easier, while letting you run energy regen here and a 2-piece. Having his buff up is more important than like having, let's see. So this buff lasts 15 seconds at 8% per stack, right? So it's better to have an 8% stack buff up more consistently and his own buffs, because now he doesn't have energy problems, than it is to run this for 15%, because they're losing 7% on the buff. But again, having it up more often and making sure you have his EX special up more often than not is better, because I don't have, like, first of all, this is resolved mainly if you have, where am I looking? If you have a good set of this where you have like 2 or 3 rolls on all your protopunk pieces, it fixes all this, because then you'd be able to run energy regen up here. Right now, the issue that I'm facing is if I'm running protopunk, I have to run protopunk. I have to run 3 attack pieces here because I don't get enough attack substats. So if you have a good protopunk set, it might be better. I don't know. It's just, it doesn't really make that big a difference. The numbers are not like super important. But I would probably recommend protopunk. Just right now, this ends up being better anyway. And then I changed my, where is she? Oh, she's higher up. I changed the dial-in build a little bit. She lost 1 substat or 1 crit roll, because the piece I found ended up being a lot better. So this one normally has 2, is a +2. I used to run this, so if I run this, she's at max crit rate. However, I ended up running this instead because you just have better substats on this. More crit damage. We're missing 1 crit roll, but I mean, a little tiny bit of impact isn't really going to kill anybody. But you have more crit chance, more attack, or more crit damage, more attack percentage. So while she doesn't do a whole lot of damage anyway, it's better than what she did before. You know what I mean? So just gradually increasing her own damage over time. Then lastly, my Yushuan build's getting pretty good. This isn't too bad. This isn't too bad. This is actually amazing. It's probably the best piece like I have in the entire in all my collection of gear. This is probably the best piece I have. Period. This isn't too bad. I got this the other day, so that was pretty cool. Yeah. So we're just gonna get in here and get this done. There's only 1 weapon I think I'm missing at this point, and it's the fusion compiler. So hopefully I get that soon out of the standard banner, but we'll see. I got lucky that I got Hellfire gears for Dialin last time, because that weapon is ridiculous on her. I'm messing up. I'm throwing. I mistime one of those, and then like the whole pattern gets kind of messed up. There we go. I messed up. I shouldn't have done this. Yep, I messed up. Normally I want the double chain attack, but yeah, whatever.
It's almost time. Hey. Swift yet still. Evil shall be purged. Keep your guard. She and mine as one.
And we just burn all our ults here to shave this miasmic field off easier.
Allow me. What a
No, no! Ah, I hate when this happens.
The moment has come. Pay close attention to what I'm saying. Your fate is sealed.
Like, you want to break the miasmic shield with someone else so you can chain attack into Yushuan, but, sometimes this happens. I think I messed up because he's out of stun. Yeah, he's out of stun.
An opening.
One of the things that I'm probably missing a lot of damage on is not using her EX special. I use the ball a lot, but that's just because the ball kind of lingers for a little bit. The ball kind of lingers a little bit after she does her whatever. See, look at that. So while instead of sitting her there on her, I can do this. So that ball hits them, and not to mention the ball does more damage during stun window, so that you kind of want to use it there. But not using the ball outside of stun window whenever you can is probably the best that you want to focus on doing. I kind of just mess it up a lot. Yeah, so anytime you have downtime or it's like, oh, I need to swap over to this person, I usually try to use the ball.
Allow me.
Just a little more, we'd have another stun. But yeah, so this one's a little more straightforward. One of the optimizations, I just need to remember to activate her EX special, her regular one, outside of combat a little more, or not outside of combat, just outside of stun more. Not only that, I think I'm like fairly certain. I can't say for sure, but I'm fairly certain using her EX special gives her a little bit more. What's the word? Her little technique points to make her false ult, which it just prepares that more. The other thing I could have done was prepared. So the trick you're supposed to do with Yishuan is, and maybe I showcase it, but I kind of mess up sometimes. Do I want to go back in it? Nah, we're already kind of long on the video. But anyway, that was the main point, is just kind of showing you guys where we are on these. We did make it to top 10%. I just wanted to make a video before it reset, because I do sometimes forget. So I'm almost always in top 10%, as you can see. This one, again, that week was not really good for us, but we did our best. We got all three. We got 9 stars, but we didn't make it to top 10. But starting the new year, again, this is last year, so starting the new year, we're starting off strong here. What was the last thing I wanted to mention? Anyway, I was talking about the Yushuan team. You want to chain cancel her ult, right? So that the ideal situation is the stun. We activate stun, Pan Yinha EX specials into stun, which chains into Yishuan. Yishuan cancels, does her orb, then she channels the orb and cancels it into her ult, and that shifts us into Dialin. So we go to Dialin. Dialin does her chain attack while Yishuan's ult is happening, and then once Dialin's chain attack is finished, we hold the basic attack to activate the Yishuan to go into Yishuan again, but using her ult, and then we use her other ult once we're back on Yishuan. So all 3 ults get used in one stun window, and that's pretty much basically everything. It's just that's the main rotation for her. If you ever change it to something else, it's probably, again, I like using Pokra here instead of Pan Yinha, but Pokra doesn't give as many buffs as Pan Yinha does, so unfortunately we're stuck doing this. But either way, yeah, that's it till next time. I think. Should I do another 10 pull here? The reason it's at 52 is because I got baited into summoning more. I got her on the first 10 pull. That was the truth on that. But then I'm like, maybe another one. Maybe one more. You know what I mean? And then we ended up halfway to pity. So it is what it is. I'm not gonna, whatever. I got baited. Regardless, the pity's down for whoever's next. I guess future plans. Nangong Yu and Sissia are coming next, and I forgot who's coming with them. Oh, I think Nangong Yu gets Orphe. What I'm probably going to do is drop one on Orphe and then one on Nangong Yu, because Nangong Yu as a stunner looks pretty good, so I can use her with other characters. Yeah, you can never have too many stunners. Depending on how Nangong Yu works, what her kit is, I don't know anything about her because I don't really I've tried looking up leaks, but they're not very good at explaining what they do, and they're really not very good at it. So I just usually wait till afterwards. So I'll probably drop one on Nangong Yu. If I get her in the 10, I get her. If not, then I just move on. Yeah. So the other thing is, lastly, we're talking about after that, Sissia's coming. I'm probably not gonna summon for Sissia because, as you all know, we already have like an abundance of Electro DPSs in this game, and adding another one to my roster is kind of stupid. I think if you have Seed, presumably she's like the best pair. She's one of the best pairings for Seed. I can't say for sure. I have no idea. But I've heard people have said that she's like the best one for Seed. But yeah, so if that's what you're looking for, I mean, I don't have Seed. Didn't really care for Seed anyway. But what comes with Sissia, from what I heard, was Lucia. So, and then that's not even including the fact that we might get triple banners coming up next. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, the point being is Lucia is probably on the horizon. For those of you who've been on this channel, you know that I lost the 50-50 on Lucia last time. Hopefully we can get her this time. We'll see. But yeah, that's basically everything. So yeah, for real this time. I'll see you guys in the next video.